maybe I'm dreaming. But my eyes are open, which means maybe I'm awake, dreaming I'm asleep. Or more likely, maybe I'm asleep, dreaming that I'm awake, wondering if I'm dreaming.
You are dreaming.
Hey, look! It's the one and only KATRINA Porter.
Hey, Anna Serene.
Everybody, look! It's KATRINA Porter.
They can't see.
Everybody, take my word for it. It's KATRINA Porter.
I was reading my notes. You startled me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
Startled.
Do you feel unsettled?
Kind of. Oh, is this going to go back to how I prank you all the time, and that's made you feel unsettled?
I mean, I wasn't going to, but
You bring it up.
while we're here. Welcome to Split Happens, everyone.
Welcome, everybody.
Each episode, KATRINA and I talk about a movie that both of us love. But one of us will be very, very, very sad. Because they're going to have to act like they hate it and attack it. And yes, to answer a listener's question, we do know some of the attacks we've chosen are stupid.
What do you mean some?
Yeah.
We very rarely have an attack that's not stupid.
Sometimes.
Mostly you. You mostly come up with something that's actually good.
Well, I mean, thank you. Well, if people don't like it, they can go on the internet and complain about it. And while they're there, don't forget to hop on over to iTunes and rate us and review us 5 stars or wherever you listen to your podcast.
Thank you.
We have one rule. The rule to rule them all. The con only has to attack during the synopsis, and during that time, the con cannot say anything nice about the movie. And if they slip and say something good, they earn a penalty. They're going to have to give some love to the movie they hate the most. Mine is the reason I hate Sam Worthington. It's because of 2010's Clash of the Titans remake.
But poor Sam.
He knew what he was doing.
I don't think he did.
He made a sequel to it. The Wrath of the Shit.
Mine is Hannibal, and I'm not saying anything else about it because I don't want to give that movie any more airtime.
Atta girl. You will know that the pro has caught a rule break by this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
I just want to say that because I am attacking today,
Yeah?
me, Anna, I'm attacking, I am going to take down this movie like it's a weirdo bishop who put an hour-related animal curse on me. Like a time-related animal curse on me.
Which can only mean we're talking about 1985's amazing movie, Ladyhawke. This movie is so good. I love this movie so much. It makes me so happy.
I understand some people didn't or don't love the music to this movie.
We'll get into that. Yes.
I get it. We're all wrong about things, and that's just something you're going to have your personal growth journey about.
Mm-hmm.
This music rules my soul, and I love the soundtrack as you do. I couldn't even hazard a guess of how many times we listened to it.
My first line is, this soundtrack is the shit.
It is the shit.
And that is a very controversial opinion, because people are very divided about the soundtrack.
Mostly on the hate train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people did not feel like Alan Parsons' project was appropriate for this movie.
So, Andrew Powell of Alan Parsons' Project, he did the soundtrack. He loved the cinematography of the movie. And so that's what inspired the soundtrack to him. He tried to translate, his vision was to translate sight into sound. The criticism is that this is a movie, we don't know what century it's based in.
Yeah, we do.
When?
Well, it's medieval.
The criticism is, how are you going to mix Gregorian chants and synthesizers? And my answer is perfectly.
Beautifully.
Yeah. And I actually, when we say we want feedback, we do. I'm not interested in your opinion about this.
Okay. I feel like there was a fair number of rock bands doing soundtracks for fantasy movies. Maybe, I'm just thinking of Legend, I guess.
Yeah, well, and David Bowie did Labyrinth.
Holy shit. We haven't even mentioned yet. This is our L hat trick. This movie is our 80s movie L trifecta.
That's right.
And this is the last of our L's.
Yeah, we did Labyrinth, Legend, and Ladyhawke.
The three of those were so important to us growing up.
Yeah. The budget for this movie was $20 million, and at the box office it made like 18.
Ooh.
So it didn't do well at the box office, but it's gained a huge cult following.
85. I feel like we've done a lot of 85 movies. So, well, Goonies was 85, right?
Well, we've certainly done a lot of movies around, but speaking of Goonies, you know who directed this?
I do. It's Dick Donner.
Our good friend Dick Donner.
Aww.
I've got some info I'll share about him later on, but he, from everything I read about him, he seems like such a great guy. Is he alive?
He is not.
Oh.
Yeah, he died some time ago.
Okay, pour one in your mouth for Dick Donner.
Okay, hey, speaking of which, disclaimer. I just can't say no to that Calimocho. I love it so. And unfortunately, that means ice in the glass. Apologies, everyone. Also, our last, at least one recording, I had our mics all fucked up. So we couldn't hear. I was like, why do we sound so weird?
That was on him.
It definitely was. I don't know what happened, but I fixed the glitch. I am going to try so hard not to get a button push. I've gotten a button push like the last, I don't even know how many. I don't remember the last time I didn't. It's going to be Attack Central over here from here on out until the synopsis ends.
Okay. Do it. Play the fucking song.
All right, let's go.
Let the games begin.
Movie starts with a hand pushing through dirt, and then a guard goes into the prison to get 3 prisoners to hang, and the guard says he wants the one they call the mouse.
Mm-hmm.
He is obviously the one who is escaping through the dirt. When the guard goes into the prison, there's a prisoner that in the credits is just called Crazy Prisoner.
Oh, no.
Which I don't appreciate.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to execute this rhyming asshole, too. He's really annoying.
Mouse? He left the house.
No mouse today. He went away. Does he rhyme everything? I bet he does. Oh, he'd be insufferable.
I think Mouse was probably fine being in prison, but he just couldn't handle being this guy's roommate anymore.
I get it.
Yeah.
I would crawl through things too.
Yeah.
Because you did trivia on this, maybe you can tell me, where is this movie set?
Italy.
Italy.
Uh-huh.
Really? Of all the countries, I would not have placed it in Italy.
Yeah, it was, I do know this. It was originally going to be in Czechoslovakia, and then it was briefly in Spain, and then it ended up being filmed in Italy.
Not France, which the names would all make you feel like it would be in France.
Well, I mean, I think the movie's probably set in France, but it was filmed in Italy.
Okay.
Because of, they needed really historic looking buildings, castles.
Where is it set?
It's set in a country that we don't talk about, and it's a country that's really interesting, so we should talk about it more. And it's called Bolovia, and they welcome all. And this particular country, lots of people talk in different accents.
I can't tell if you were trying to combine Bulgaria, Bolivia, or Beluga. There are a number of words that got you to the country that definitely does not exist.
It does.
Okay, so France-ish.
Yeah. It's a suburb.
Oh, that's right, because so many people in this movie have French accents.
People are allowed to speak how they speak here, and what a lovely thought that is. Mouse is trying to escape from the prison. And then we see a large cloaked man on a large horse.
Yes.
Rutger Hauer is the large man in the cloak on the large horse.
Yes.
Rutger Hauer plays Navarre. He is absolutely perfect in this. He had just done Blade Runner, which he was brilliant in. And he was initially... They initially wanted him for a different character, and he was not interested in it. So he's like, he passed on the movie. He's like, if Navarre comes available, I'll do it.
Oh, damn.
But originally, Kurt Russell was cast as Navarre.
What?
Right? And dropped out like right before principal photography started.
My goodness.
And so, Dick Donner called up RH and was like, come on aboard, fella.
Come on the Dick Donner train.
Right. Toot toot. When he showed up to do filming for this, he showed up in like a gigantic trailer that he had customized himself and like parked it in front of the studio.
This bitch.
Apparently Dick Donner was not pleased about it. But he was just everything that I've read, and I got onto so many different rabbit holes when I was doing notes for this, like I'm doing right now. There's nothing I've read about Rutger Hauer that says that he's anything but just a cool guy. Mouse swims his way to freedom.
Well, he did some talking first, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he's gotten through one part of getting through the prison. He's clearly in the sewer, and he sounds fine to me, and he escapes.
He sounds fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just confused. You said France, or actually, it's a Bologna, or whatever that bullshit you said.
Suburb.
So it wasn't New York? That's not where this is filmed? Because his accent is wearing an I Love New York t-shirt. His accent rents a respectable one-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side.
No.
Occasionally, he does attempt. Not a French accent. Nobody does that. But I think he's going for British, possibly. I'm not entirely sure about that.
Do you think that Brad Pitt saw this movie, and when he was getting ready to film Troy, he's like, I want to try a movie where I do 12 accents? Mouse swims his way to freedom after making his first of many deals with God. The head of the guard, Marquet, tells the bishop that a prisoner has escaped, and the bishop isn't happy about it.
He was a lot nicer in War Games.
The bishop?
Yeah.
Played by John Wood. He War Games, which was also starred Matthew Broderick.
Yes, it did.
The bishop is the Bishop of Aquila, which is where this... Oh, yeah. That's where this is based. It's in Aquila.
Aquila is... What country is Aquila?
Fredonia.
Fredonia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Alexis.
Fredonia?
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit. Well, it's okay. He doesn't attempt a French accent either, but he has at least some accent.
Yeah, but who said this was France?
All of the names.
I don't know about that.
His name is Gaston. Isabeau.
Okay.
Every bit of this says France, except all of the actors.
The guards go off to find the mouse, who is already stealing shit.
Oh, wait.
Whoa.
I want to talk about the bishop a little bit more for just a second.
What about the bishop? He's played by John Wood.
Right.
He's the Bishop of Aquila.
Yes. Where he's talking with
Marquet.
Marquet.
He's the head of the guards.
Marquet. Guess what language that is?
Fredonian.
French. His line delivery actually through this whole movie, Mr. Wood, John Wood, is so odd, and you know I'm right. Oh, by the way, Matthew Broderick's accent has traveled to England now.
Okay. Mouse gives an A+ effort trying to escape, but he's not good at it. Thank God our Dutch friend, Captain Navarre, shows up and kicks everyone's ass.
Yeah, that Captain of the Guard made him kill his own friend. What a dick.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice.
That wasn't nice.
No. Captain! And then just pushes him on the sword.
Captain. Yeah, that guy's a douche.
Yeah.
I think later, whenever Navarre has him in his grasp, and he's so mad because he made him kill his own friend, and he just kind of shakes the shit out of him. He's like, you! And then just throws him, which is so lame.
Well, he doesn't actually want to kill any of these people because he was, as we find out later, or get clued in this scene, Navarre used to be the captain of the guard.
Oh, Captain.
Rutger Hauer lost 20 pounds filming this movie because all his wardrobe was so heavy.
I thought about it at the end, when they're battling, like, good
Yes.
God, the swords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your, what's this muscle?
Deltoid?
Your deltoids would be fucking ripped in the Middle Ages, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were holding up a sword on a regular basis and having that big old armor, yeah, your upper body would be swole.
Hey, let's go back for a second.
Yeah.
When Mouse was escaping and he was in the water, and then the next scene you see him running through the snow, he was fucking cold.
Yeah, I bet.
And Dick Donner, who's notoriously wonderful to his actors, had him wear a wetsuit to try to like under his clothes to try to keep him from like freezing, which he couldn't use when they did close-ups, but like all the far away, he's wearing a wetsuit. That Dick Donner is a great guy. Pour another one in your mouth.
Oh yeah. How strong is Navarre that he can just pluck Gaston off the ground onto his horse?
Very strong.
He must be extremely strong.
He is very strong. Mouse runs off, and then after Navarre kicks everyone's ass, he gets on his gigantic horse, who we know as Goliath. Beautiful horse. And Mouse is running away, and Navarre just basically picks him up and throws him on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that?
It's ridiculous. That's not possible.
Sure it is.
Who has forearms like that? His core would be insane to be able to do that.
Yeah.
On a horse.
Yeah.
A giant one at that.
Yeah.
He's able to just pluck him off the ground
Yeah,
and throw him over the horse.
Well, Mouse is wee.
Not that wee.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to do that with my son Finn.
Yes,
He's
you
only
would.
8. No way.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know I wouldn't, because the other day I bent over kind of like weird to grab a blanket, and it tweaked my back, and I had a hard time for days with that, and that was a blanket.
Okay. This is not a criticism of you.
Thank you.
This is just an observation.
Yeah.
Navarre is sort of, like an athlete.
I could be an athlete.
I know you could.
Probably not. I actually was talking myself out of that in the middle of my sentence. Internally, I'm like, bitch, you can't.
And at one point, Navarre puts his arm up and the hawk flies on him. Apparently, Rutger Hauer was like the hawk whisperer. Like almost immediately, he was like good at this.
Is it because he's Dutch?
I think so.
Do they have hawks
I
in the Netherlands?
hope so.
I hope so as well.
Mouse and Navarre take off, and they find the creepiest house with the weirdest couple to stay at. Mouse goes off to find some wood, and someone is clearly in the woods.
I'm so glad Matthew Broderick's accent made it back to the New York boroughs.
Oh, gosh.
His accent won't shut up about how easy it is to find anything there.
He handles this exactly like I would in this situation. Like, pretend like there's a bunch of people there, and then run the fuck out of there. Creepy house guy tries to kill Mouse with the biggest axe I've ever seen, but a wolf comes up and kills him instead. Mouse gets ready to shoot the wolf, and the absolutely stunning Michelle Pfeiffer, who plays Isabeau, shows up.
Isabeau.
She is so gorgeous in this movie. She's beautiful anyway. She's beautiful now. But she's stunning in this movie.
Answer me this, KATRINA.
Okay.
And I mean this.
Okay.
I want you to answer me sincerely.
Okay.
If this movie is so good, and if Michelle Pfeiffer is so good in this, why does she not have a single song about needing a cool writer? Not one. Not at all.
I have an answer.
Yeah?
Because this is not the fantastic musical Grease 2.
Well, so
that's why.
So there could not be... somebody rides a horse all the time. Her guy that she wants to be like banging when he's not a wolf rides. He's a cool rider. But she doesn't express that melodically at all.
In
Not
the
once.
outtakes, there's a song called Hawk Glider. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Isabeau. She was initially resistant to doing this movie because she didn't want to play a princess. She was very worried about being typecast as just the, gorgeous kind of fluff.
God, same. I get that all the time. All I get are roles for fluff.
I know. But she read the script and she loved it. She had her good friend help her, who was kind of not well known at the time, Kevin Costner.
Oh, not Gerard Depardieu.
Mm-hmm.
He's French.
God.
Oh, good. Kevin Costner knows something about accents.
Oh my.
And ignoring them.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Are you talking about Robin Hood?
Yeah.
I can't wait till we do that.
Oh, he also, kiddingly does a British accent for 5 seconds, too. It's adorable.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Kevin Costner read lines with her, and she was great in it, and in her audition, but it wasn't her reading her lines for Isabeau. At one point, she did, off camera, talking like the bird, joking, what the hawk would sound. Yeah, what the hawk would sound like, and they're like, we love her sense of humor. She's great. Mouse, who's played by Matthew Broderick.
True.
A couple other people that were the front runners, which are so bizarre. Dustin Hoffman, Sean Penn.
What?
Right.
Who thought either of those would be good? Just pulling names out of a hat?
I know. It's very bizarre. After Michelle Pfeiffer, who's Isabeau, shows up, she walks away with the wolf. And Mouse is really shitting himself now. He's like, I do not know what the fuck is going on.
He wants nothing to do with this.
Same. And Mouse and Navarre decide it's safer to sleep in the woods. And Mouse mentions that he saw a hot chick the night before. And for once he's saying something that Navarre is interested in. Usually he ignores Mouse. And then all of a sudden he's like, I met a woman. He's like, what?
Figures.
In the next scene, Marquet arrives at the bishop's castle. One of the reasons that they chose Italy is that I guess there's a fuck ton of castles in Italy.
It's known.
Mm-hmm.
The bishop feeding grapes to a dancing medieval Lana Del Rey is by far one of the strangest scenes in this movie.
The dancer, she was the costume designer, and the sleeves of the dress that she's wearing were supposed to look like plumage and to look like a hawk.
Yeah.
And her dance moves were bird-like.
Oh.
When you know that and then you go back and look at it and see her dancing, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. She has plumage.
Yeah.
And she's hawk-like in her movements.
Yeah.
So why the grapes?
I think because...
a little weird for, a bishop to be feeding grapes to,
Marquet tells the bishop that Navarre is back.
And the bishop's like, record scratch.
And coincidentally, the bishop says, I had a dream last night where the devil was coming and his name is Navarre.
Right. Well, first he's like, walk with me. Yeah. Again, weird. And he's like, I raise the taxes only to be told there's nothing left to tax. Imagine.
I like the way he delivers lines.
So God told him that?
I think that's why he was so shocked. He's like, well, it's weird that you mentioned that because just last night, God came to me in a dream. And said the devil's coming and it's Navarre.
Baloney.
You just Veronica Corningstone me. So the bishop is like, yeah, go kill him. Mouse is chopping wood with Navarre's sword and Navarre comes up behind him and he says one of the funniest things. He's like, this sword has been in my family for generations and has never known defeat until now.
You know what I want to do? What I want to talk about? I want to talk about Matthew Broderick's accent some more.
Oh my god.
I don't understand. Why was this allowed? His accent won't acknowledge pizza from anywhere else. That's how New York it is.
Okay.
His accent only wears black.
When I was taking my notes for this, I knew that this was going to be one of your biggest attack lines. Mm-hmm. And I spent 2 hours trying to figure out how to defend it. And all I came up with is when Anna starts talking about his accent, start talking about something else.
Joke's on you. Half my notes are about his accent.
I am here to talk about a movie that I love. I am not a Matthew Broderick accent apologist.
Oh, thank God.
Navarre tells Mouse that his destiny is to kill the bishop, and Mouse is ready to bounce out of there. But Navarre has other plans. Rutger Hauer, he's perfect in this movie, but he's really good. For whatever reason, this scene, he's really good because there's a bit of it. You can see that he's got just a little bit of a sense of humor, and he's so dry in the whole movie. But here, he's kind of like, Mouse is trying to be like, I'm not interested. And he's like, okay, bitch.
Yeah. All right. Matthew Broderick tries to walk away.
He throws a sword at his head.
Yeah. Yeah. The sword, he was super protective about it a second ago, and he just chucks it at the tree. And it's like, boing, boing, boing.
Speaking of a tree, the next scene, Mouse is tied to a tree and talks sweet, gorgeous Isabeau to let him go. Mouse runs off and gets immediately captured by the guards, and they set up a trap to get Navarre.
Navarre seems awfully smart to walk into such like an obvious trap.
Well, I didn't think it seemed obvious, except I'd already knew it because I'd seen it a bunch.
The guards are hiding behind, hay bales that say trap
Don't look
ahead.
here.
Yeah.
Well, this scene is sad because one of the guards accidentally shoots the hawk.
Oh no.
Oh no, and Navarre loses his shit.
He's not thrilled. No.
No. Navarre tells Mouse to take the hawk to Father Imperius, who is played by Leo McKern.
He was Patty in the Blue Lagoon.
The church that Father Imperius is in was built for this movie, and it took him 2 months to do because all of the churches there are historical pretty much, and you can't film in those. They're, so they had to build this church, which looks pretty cool. Mouse tells Imperius that the hawk belongs to Navarre, and he springs into action like there's a gin sale at the package store. Imperius goes off to find hawk salve. I don't know what you do to fix a hawk. Mouse picks the lock and sees that the hawk has turned into Isabeau. And then this is like one of my favorite lines of the movie. It's so good. He's like, in a very good accent, he says, "Are you flesh or are you spirit?" And she says, "I am sorrow."
Oh, my goodness. I have nothing to say about it.
Imperius is getting ready to pull the arrow out. The wolf is howling. The bishop is freaking out.
Yeah, it's a weird scene where he's like having a season out in bed.
Right, and to keep the crazy train running, a terrifying man named Caesar shows up to the bishop's castle. Caesar is played by Alfred Molina, who's like the metal arm guy from Spider-Man.
He is fucking Doc Ock.
Something like that.
Dr. Octavius. Yeah, and he's young in this. He's actually British. I mean, of course, it's not set in Britain.
My God. It is. Fredonia is a part of the British colonies.
Where? Where is it? It's for... Really?
Yeah, I'm starting to remember as my notes go on.
Fredonia.
The bishop wants Caesar to kill the wolf, and he says that you'll know that this wolf is the one that I'm looking for because he travels with a woman.
Yeah, how does he say this?
A woman who loves him.
She loves him. Her name is
Isabeau.
It's so weird. By the way, I paused at this point. It is only halfway in, which it seems impossible because it's definitely at least 2 hours in. Yeah, this is only halfway into the movie.
Are you saying this movie drags?
I'm saying it feels like a very long journey.
Well, it's a quest.
Can we do a short quest?
No, that's not how quests go.
Like a side quest.
No. Imperius tells Mouse the story of how the curse happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically Navarre was the captain of the guards. Isabeau was in town, just hanging. Navarre and Isabeau fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
But the bishop, that prissy bitch, also falls in love with Isabeau.
Inappropriate.
Imperius, who gets his drink on, which we're not judgmental about around here, confesses to the bishop about Navarre and Isabeau's love for each other.
Not cool.
The bishop puts a curse on them both where Isabeau is a hawk during the day while Navarre is human, and at night, Navarre is a wolf, and Isabeau's Isabeau.
If he can't have her, no man would.
Right.
I get that. I'm like that with Girl Scout cookies.
You have a gigantic... What?
I am. I can't keep them in the house, because I'll just eat the whole sleeves.
Oh my god. Mouse has a quick chat with Isabeau, where he makes up a bunch of stuff about Navarre to cheer her up. Imperius tells Mouse that he has found a way to break the curse, and the pesky guards show up. Mouse tries to escape with Isabeau, and again, he tries hard, but Mouse is not really great at escaping.
Is it because he's wee?
I think so.
Wee people can do things.
No, I know. Just he can't. So Mouse accidentally pushes Isabeau off the roof. So Isabeau is like hanging from the roof. Mouse is trying to hold on to her, and he lets her slip away. Thank God the sun comes up, and Isabeau turns into a hawk before she...
Yeah, thank God. Very convenient.
Gets splattered all over the church.
Yeah. Her changing into a bird is silly. Tis a silly scene.
I don't think so. So Mouse is sitting like on the ledge when the guards come out, and they're like, "Where is she?" And he's like, "She flew away." Imperius tells Navarre he can fix the curse, but Navarre's like, "That's a no for me, dog." Mouse and Isabeau seek shelter from the rain and have some wine and a dance, and then party pooper Cesar shows up.
Yeah, and I see Matthew Broderick's accent has sailed back over the Atlantic.
Oh, God. Isabeau goes after him because she thinks he killed Navarre, but four-legged Navarre shows up, and Isabeau shoves Cesar's face in a wolf trap. I'm like, atta girl. Imperius shows up, and Mouse, Imperius, and Isabeau set a trap with the hope that they can be in human form in the morning at the same time.
Is this after Navarre is playing You Can't Win with Philippe?
Yes.
With the mouse?
Yeah. You took Isabeau to an inn?
Well, no, I mean, just so we could change clothes.
You changed clothes?
No, not at the same time.
You left her alone?
No, God, no. Jesus.
So you did change clothes together.
You can't win.
I
That's
love playing that game with my husband.
Favorite game.
Yeah, he can't win.
Oh,
He just never does.
I always win.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh,
He doesn't love that game.
He does. They don't love it. No. Oh, cute. He's trying his best to have an accent again.
Oh, okay. So this scene is super sad. It's super heartbreaking. So they try to trap Wolf Navarre, and he gets trapped in the ice. And so Mouse does save him. And in the morning, they had dug a hole, and Isabeau is there in human form. Navarre is there in wolf form, and he starts to change into human Navarre, which I think looks cool.
Does it?
I think so.
It looks totally super good.
Yeah.
Huh.
For 1985.
When did Terminator come out?
Okay, so then also what happens, ignoring that question, you can see that Navarre and Isabeau can see each other, which is probably for like the first time in years and years. And then she turns into a hawk. And it's really a sad scene.
Okay, I have a legitimate criticism with this scene.
Okay.
Navarre is a black wolf, right?
Yes.
But he's blonde. So why is he a black wolf?
I can't believe I was just bracing myself for an actual attack.
I want you to answer the question, and don't you dare say diversity.
It's diversity.
God damn it.
Navarre is fucking pissed because Mouse tells him that the sword is gone. Navarre pushes Mouse down and sees that he's all fucked up from saving Navarre the night before. And then Navarre agrees to go ahead and try to break the curse.
Yeah, he goes from aggressively angry to, I'm sorry, baby, with Philippe as soon as he sees the wolf scratches.
Well, yeah, it looked really bad.
I'm sorry, baby, you just make me so crazy sometimes. You know, Philippe is surprisingly clean a lot of times. He's clean a lot.
Yeah.
This is the Middle Ages. And he is traipsing around in the dirt and snow.
Do you know how many pirate movies where everyone has gleaming white teeth?
Doesn't make it any better. They have gleaming white teeth in this movie, except for Cesar.
Eesh.
And he did.
Yeah, thank God.
Not because of the teeth, though. Although, some of that gingivitis will turn into infection, and those people, no wonder they had such short lifespan.
They sneak into the church/prison. Mouth. I just went Goonies.
Mikey! Give me a little kiss! Never!
Why is your hair blonde?
Shit. Uh-oh. Please.
That came out your nose.
It sure did. To my chair. Gross. How that burned.
Shit, I have mouth in my notes.
Oh no! That's wrong, though.
Mouse
Oh,
sneaks
no.
into the church so he can let Navarre in to kill the bishop. This battle scene is bitchin'. I absolutely love this. Rutger Hauer said that this scene was the one that he was the most proud of during the whole movie because later on in the scene he flips his knife. He flips his knife and then throws it at someone.
Yes.
And he could do that without looking at it. So he thought that was pretty cool.
Well, that is interesting trivia. We're allowed to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't look like there's any, like, fight choreography, though.
Well,
It's an ugly-ass fight.
so the setup of this scene is Imperius says there's going to be a day without a night and a night without a day, which we all know is an eclipse, but they didn't know that then. And Navarre goes in to kill the bishop, but he says to Imperius, who's waiting outside with Isabeau, who's in hawk form,
Before he goes
he goes in, if you hear the bells toll, you know I've failed, kill her quickly, like put her out of her misery. So Navarre goes in to ostensibly kill the bishop. You don't think this looks like there's much choreography to it?
I don't. No. I don't think they spent a tremendous amount. They probably spent a lot on Alan Parsons.
Navarre sees that the person is getting ready to ring the bell.
Ring them bells.
Ring them bells. He does the cool knife flip and gets that guy out of the way, but then someone else comes and rings the bells. And so then it cuts to Imperius with Isabeau, the hawk, and he's like, oh, fuck. So then when Navarre hears the bells ringing, he's like, oh, great, Isabeau's dead.
You can actually see the moment that all of Navarre's fucks, like, escape his body.
Yeah.
And travel into the ether.
And he goes really ham fighting Marquet.
Marquet. He's like, you're dead.
He kills Marquet, and it's a really cool scene. The sword had not been lost. Mouse was just being a trickster. And so he tosses his family sword at... That sounded weird.
What was the point of doing that? Just to try and keep him from going and killing the bishop?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. So he tosses the sword at Navarre, and Navarre kills Marquet. And he starts walking towards the bishop.
Marquet.
And the bishop is like...
But kill me, Navarre. And the curse will go on forever. We must think of Isabeau.
And Navarre's like...
Isabeau is dead.
It's sad. It really is, because he just looks heartbroken, like he's just given up. And he gets ready to kill the bishop, and then we hear...
Navarre?
And Isabeau's there.
Your face!
I love this scene so much.
I wish I would have gotten a picture. God damn it. This was you.
Well, that was probably me. It was probably me watching it. I'm like, she's there. And I've seen this movie hundreds of times. Imperius didn't kill her.
Aww.
I'm surprised every time.
Navarre?
Like, she's there. And I look over at Ty. Look, she's not dead.
She's alive.
And he's like, who cares? The curse is over, but that fussy little fucker bishop can't leave well enough alone and tries to kill Isabeau.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, you look at her, look at me, now
Look at us.
I bet everybody else in that church is like, what the fuck is going
I
on?
know.
Can you imagine?
They all seem
being
pretty
at the-
nonplussed.
You know what? I bet there's like some like submarine, churchgoers. You know, the ones that only come up for like special occasions.
Like we did when we were kids.
Right. that are there that haven't shown up for ages.
They're like, is this church?
Oh God, is this how it is now?
This is awesome.
I just thought we were going to sing in Latin or something.
Man, there's a battle, and a curse is broken, and love reunited.
Oh shit, they killed the bishop.
This is great.
Whoa, we've been here for an hour, and no less than 6 people have already perished.
Navarre and Isabeau twirl around the cathedral and live happily ever after.
He kebabbed the bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, picking her up and spinning her and saying her name actually made me a little uncomfortable.
It was a little weird.
It is a little weird.
Okay.
It's just how he says it. It's just a little weird. It's like, because he's like, saying it as he's living like, Isabeau!
It's over.
Yay!
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I remember we used to listen to that on road trips, and then all of us would like sing the instruments of different parts of that song, and now I just realized how lame we were.
No, that was cool.
I'm the guitar part. And here comes my brother. I'm the trumpets. Oh, what a delightful movie.
I love this movie so much.
Okay, so let's talk about accents.
It was so bad.
My God.
I was shocked that Dick Donner allowed this.
I imagine he'd hired a certain amount of people, and maybe they attempted it a few times, and maybe those are the scenes that we see Matthew Broderick actually attempting a British accent. He's like, you know what, just don't, probably like what they did with Kevin Costner. I'm serious. It's like, you know what, just do your accent. Nobody else is going to have accents. It's okay.
Well, this movie took a long time to actually get into production, and one of the things that was delayed were casting. So maybe at that point they're like, we just got to get this fucking movie made.
Yeah.
This Hawk's not going to live forever.
Okay, so I wish I would have looked more. Did you happen to look into anything about like where the story comes from?
Well, it doesn't come from anywhere, but there was.
I read like a while back that it was like an old story, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, the people that were promoting the movie tried to say that it was based on a real story, and it was not.
No, I don't mean like a real. I thought it was like an old fairy tale.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
You know, I read those really fucked up fairy tale books. You know,
I know.
Which I am obsessed with. But I thought I had read it in one of those, but now I'm not. I need to look into it more.
One thing that I found interesting in reading trivia about this is, as I mentioned before, Rutger Hauer had just done Blade Runner. Mm-hmm. He did this. And then after this, he didn't really do any like leading man parts, which was by design. He didn't want to be super famous. He thought that was going to be not good for him. So he ended up, he was still in a lot of movies, but he ended up taking a lot of really small roles.
You know what he's really good in?
True Blood.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's on True Blood.
Yeah.
You know what? I was actually thinking of a different vampire one. He was good in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie.
He was.
It's so overshadowed by Paul Rubens.
Right.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Which
I will sing Paul Rubens' praises until the cows come home.
Pee-wee.
I love him so much.
Mm-hmm. I liked when he showed up at the MTV Movie Awards and he's like, heard any good jokes lately?
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was great.
So I like somebody that has enough. I think it's cool that somebody has enough like insight to go, maybe being super famous isn't good for me.
Mm-hmm. That's happened on occasion. Yeah, I definitely have seen that. I think that's probably a good thing. You know, that Hollywood's going to eat you up and spit you out.
Yeah, it will.
Michelle Pfeiffer is stunning to look at. It's just the camera is just in love with her, and so am I. And Rutger Hauer is very, very good. He always just looks so sincere.
Yeah.
He really has that down. Mm-hmm. And considering how completely different his role is in Blade Runner, good for him. Mm-hmm. And Matthew Broderick, despite his clearly New York accent,
he's really good in this.
He is good. He's very charismatic, and he holds the movie really, really well.
Yeah, and the dynamic between him and Imperius is really fun.
Yes. He plays that role brilliantly too.
I think everyone, and I actually didn't think I didn't think John Wood's line delivery was all that weird. I mean, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
If you're looking for faults,
yeah,
it's easy to go, well, that's strange.
Right.
Why does he say it like, why did he take that pause? That's
Right.
odd.
The most obvious flaw of the movie is Matthew Broderick's 12 accents.
It is a trip to see Alfred Molina look so young.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, that was weird.
You did watch No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
Yes.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to hear from our listeners in relation to it? Fairy tale stories?
Fairy tale stories, but I also want to hear if there's any movie that you watched where the accent or lack thereof was just like so distracting or hilarious.
I definitely want to hear that, yeah. Not ironically.
Right.
You can get a hold of us very, very easily. We are at Split Happens Pod on all of the socials, and splithappenspod.com is our website.
.com.
This was so great. Can we say that we've got a bit of a roll of 80s movies, like back to back?
We do.
Yeah, we're going to be hanging out in the 80s for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we love it.
Mm-hmm. It's our weighted blanket of
really
movies genres.
Well, I am excited about the next one. I'm
too.
very excited about the next one.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. All right, well, until next time, Katrina.
Bye, Honest Rain.
Bye, Katrina. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.